What is up, guys? Welcome to part one of my Remnants of War playthrough. This is from I think the DLC expansion, whatever you want to call it, was called Laws of War. As you can see, I already did the first mission and started on the second mission, but I'm going to start over. I just wanted to check it out, make sure I had everything set up properly to do the campaign. So let's quit talking and start playing. Replay. I should have hit revert instead of replay.
No, ex-military. Works for an NGO now. He's getting on the line? Exactly. He's on the ground now, actually. I should really, get back to it.
Hope hitting replay instead of revert doesn't have any negative consequences.
Hello, Nathan? Sorry to keep you waiting. My editor. Where were we?
Hey, you were asking about the guy, the one that went back there, the guy that,
Ah, that's right. And did you know him well?
No, not really. He worked maintenance on our trucks.
He was employed by IDAP.
No, nothing like that. I mean, he just helped us out a few times. Off the book stuff. Guy was a local mechanic. Family business type thing, you know.
I see.
I remember he had a place on the edge of town, not far from our setup. We'd chat from time to time. He's a nice guy, friendly.
Right.
And do you know where he was going that day?
To the church.
He was going to church.
No, don't get me wrong. I mean,
Church.
that place had been abandoned for almost a year, but he was looking for his brother.
At the church?
Yeah, there'd been reports of, pretty brutal firefight up there.
There we go.
He'd heard his brother might have been caught up in it.
Sure, but... And I'm not quite clear on this. Was his brother still alive?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think he knew either. Seems like he was on his way to find out.
So, his brother... He was in the army?
Yes and no. It's complicated. You gotta remember it was pretty chaotic back then.
Of course. Okay, let's back up a bit.
Sure.
What complicated the situation?
Just the history of it all. His brother had been a recruit in the Alta's armed forces, boot camp, basic training, you know. Well, this is back when NATO was still keeping the peace. But after U.S. forces pulled out, apparently he deserted.
Do you know why?
No, I know they argued a lot about it.
Was he upset that his brother had deserted?
Oh no, he was no fan of the government. I mean, by that time, very few people were.
What then?
I think he was just, I don't know, sick of all the violence. Didn't want to see his brother get caught up in all that.
In what?
More bloodshed.
So I'm looking for my brother in the church. That's the end. Goodbye. That was the whole DLC. See you guys next time. No, that scared the shit out of me when it first happened. Is this for me? Can I have it? Thank you. You want it back? Oh, okay. So yeah, I need to revert instead of replay. Revert. It's supposed to just go into the next mission, not bring me back to that screen. I'm running one mod. I don't know if there's I don't want to talk to her right now. Ha! Oh.
Hello, Kate speaking.
Hey, sorry about that. Call must have dropped. The network out here is garbage.
No problem. It's understandable. Are you still driving?
Yeah, we're not at the town yet. Hold on a sec. Andy, we almost there.
We're, a little ways out. Oh, and we need to make one quick stop, too.
Thanks, bud. So, where'd we get cut off?
You were telling me about the church. The landmine? The accident.
Right, yeah. Well, of course, a civilian casualty like that, particularly, you know, at a church, I guess it kind of refocused our attention here.
Had IDAP been particularly active in the area?
Yeah. I mean, our project had a handful of camps spread across the country. But yeah, I was in the town itself for a few months. It's all different now, though.
How so?
Well, for one thing, IDAP used to be based right in the heart of Rio Castro. Of course, this was all pre-war. I remember at that time, the local military maintained a checkpoint on the outskirts of town. That was understandable. I mean, the whole area was a kind of Wild West. Big mashup of civilian and guerrilla infrastructure. Disaster waiting to happen, really. I don't know. It's strange to see our camp based there now.
Hey, sorry about the holdup. We're on the way now.
All right, thanks, Andy.
So, what's your role there today?
Now, in general, the provision of aid. There was a lot of damage. IDAP fills the gap. Drinking water, basic medicine, post-war cleanup, in other words.
And on the ground, how does that translate to your work?
It's a mixed bag, like today. Part demining, part unexploded ordnance disposal.
I see.
Heads up, Mac. Almost there.
Got it. I'm sorry about that. We're arriving now. Give me a sec.
All right, Mac. That's your stuff all laid out here.
Hold on just a sec, Kate. I need to get set up.
Take your time.
All right, then. You got everything? Detector working? You, remember how to switch it on, right?
Yeah, I got it, Andy.
Then you're all set.
Thanks. So for now, I'll just make a note of where the mines are.
Yeah. Take it slow, Mac. We'll let the Bobcat do the heavy lifting later.
This mine detector is new. It's nice because it expands our options. So yeah, I guess for the campaign I'm playing, yep, bald spot guy, at least for now. Bald spot guy with huge balls.
Hey, sorry, I forgot to mention, the demining
tab.
toolkit, totally forgot to pack it up this morning.
That's no big deal. We're just locating the mines for now. Just keep me posted.
Are you free to talk, Nathan?
Sure. For now, I'm just sweeping the road for mines, getting a lay of the land, you know. The detector lets us see what we're dealing with here. I can work and chat.
Question. What happens when you do find a landmine?
Ordinarily, we disarm it, but today, small oversight, we haven't got all our gear right now.
Oh, it's on the way, I hope.
Yeah, it's all good.
Jesus. Gotta go around this whole area. Okay.
So, since the war's now over, has your own role changed at all?
Yeah, I guess so. Now I'm almost entirely focused on EOD and UXO.
And that's something you did in the military, too?
Yeah, that's the thing about mines. War or not, win, lose, they don't go away.
I don't know how big of a radius these things have. I'm nervous walking fucking between them all.
How many minefields are you facing on Altis?
That we know of, 22. 23 including whatever's here. Plus you've got Stratus, another 4 over there, I think.
I see. And can you estimate, roughly, how long it would take to remove them all?
A lot of variables, but cleanup operation of this size, if it's only IDAP, we're talking years.
Do you ever get nervous?
Yeah, but not when I'm working. It hits you after. Or before.
A lot of mines. Thought all mines were supposed to self-detonate, or not self-detonate, but stop working after a while. Since what, like Vietnam or something like that. Oh, I was saying earlier, the only mod that I have active right now is the recoil mod to reduce the ridiculous vanilla recoil. I don't have any other mods on because they usually mess with single-player scripted stuff.
Andy, I'm at the barricade.
Cool. And the road?
Yeah, that's what we thought. Dozen or so APs, nothing the old Bobcat can't handle.
Please run over all of them. That'd be awesome. Some of those look like AT mines, the big round flat ones. Alright, what am I supposed to be doing now?
What do you hope to achieve in the town? What's your end goal?
You know, poke around, get rid of all the bad stuff, ERW, explosive remnants of war. In Oreo Castro, that'll be landmines and some leftover ordnance.
Find all explosives. Okay, so I guess I missed some. Like, am I supposed to be going to all these yellow spots, or...? There's a lot of backstory there. Oh, okay, that's all the... That's all the... Okay, so I have to search all of Warrior Castro. I guess keep going. Of course, this guy doesn't have a GPS. I think I'm right here, so I guess let's go up here. An IED. Or just a warhead that didn't detonate. UXO is what it says on that little radar thing. Ooh, I should have put my the climbing mod in as well.
How well do you remember the town?
You mean before it was destroyed? Vividly.
Huh, that's interesting. Okay, so Shimmer.
The people here, they didn't have much love for their army.
Why do you think that is?
History, I guess. This place never supported the military takeover, the Kavala coup and all that. Plus, stationing troops in the town, nobody believed the government's spin about training. They were seen as an occupying force there to keep a lid on things.
That's interesting.
Huh. I got a blocked door here.
Yep. NATO still hasn't gotten its ass into gear. I can make some calls, but,
I'll come back later.
It's not good. Alright. It's going a little bit slow, so I'm gonna run around and be a little bit more aggressive with this mine detecting. I'm not sure. Okay, so now it's clear. There's no little yellow circle here anymore. Or maybe that just means there's memories that I can look at there? No, I don't think so. There's one I passed over here.
Hey, quick tidbit for you. Oreo Castro means beautiful castle in the local lingo.
Oh, I didn't know that. Do you speak the language?
Interesting.
Not
If you
so
walk
much.
too far
Only
away
with
from
the
it,
older
it
generation.
shuts it
Not
down.
a problem now, though.
Oh?
Well, Oreo Castro's pretty much a ghost town. Nothing here but remnants of war and a couple of goats. And they aren't exactly great conversationalists. There was a beautiful oak tree here once, 300 years old. Folks used it as a meeting spot. They'd pin notes for one another on the trunk.
Hermes. Alright, where am I at now? Alright, I need to go over here. I think that's that building. Well, I was gonna say I don't know why they don't show you where you are on the GPS, but they probably do if you're not. Playing on the difficulty level I'm playing, or custom difficulty. There's a saw. Where's this thing? Is it upstairs? You don't see it, right? I don't see it. That means it has to be up there. Either that or I'm about to blow myself up. Now, let's be clear. I did not see that. I couldn't see it. Because I should have saved before I did it. Oops, where am I? Oh. Did I look straight at it? Because I was hitting tab to mark it. Let's go look again. Oh, it was the thing poking out of the wall. I did see it. Okay. It's that. Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's a tank shell shot into the wall.
Shit. You'll need the toolkit for that job. I'll get on the horn to dispatch. See what's taking them so long.
I did look straight at it.
I'll come back
saw
later.
it. I didn't understand what I was looking for. This compound right here. No, the other side where the church is.
The church, where the mines are, it's sealed off now.
By IDAP.
No, NATO. They lost some guys there in the firefight. One of their EODs is helping clear the place.
Is that the guy
But,
that died?
He's not exactly moving quickly. Okay. I'll just go fuck myself. I could climb in through the window if I had mod on, but that might break things. Great, watch this one be upstairs. Now that I blew myself up with the other one. Nope, nope. What the fuck? Oh, it's a tripwire. I see. Going across the door. Sneaky, sneaky. There it is. It's saying there's something here. Hey, Andy.
Yep. What's up?
What's the deal with the church? Can we get in or what?
Sorry, Mac. No dice. NATO's got first dibs. They're bringing their boys home. Bag and tag. Best leave them to it.
I'll come back later. Where our camp used to be.
Anything left?
Not much. Few memories, maybe.
It's a whole lot of dud rounds in this area. Oh, what does that say?
There's some old boxes here.
Play the Peacekeeper?
Hold up.
Yeah. It was NATO that helped bring him in. Actually, it was one hell of a supply drop.
So, the supply drop, this was when exactly?
Right around the time we saw the ceasefire starting to break down. Must be more than a year ago now.
So, at that time, your camp was in the center of town.
Yeah, things were getting pretty desperate, though. I remember we hadn't been resupplied in months. No food, water, medicine. We were used to issues with logistics, but I don't know. In the end, it got so bad U.S. forces prepared an airdrop. Not an easy task, considering, but those crates, they really were life and death. That's why we needed somebody on the ground. Someone to make sure they came down okay.
And who was that?
Me! It was me! I have a grenade launcher. How many grenades do I have? One. I have one grenade. Really? How many mags do I have? I have 2 mags total, really? No, I have 4 mags, 3 mags for my pistol. Alright.
It was his job to locate a drop zone.
In the mountains.
Mm-hmm. Needless to say, High Command always had ideas, but they weren't always good. Plus, no one had planned for those crosswinds flaring up. But our supplies were already in the air.
He made a spur-of-the-moment decision.
Pretty much, yeah. Although he described it with more, direct language.
Alright, where am I going here? Supply, assign, locate. Oh, those are way further out than I thought. Okay, I guess I'm using the Vic. Oh, there are guys in the Vic. Can I borrow your Vic? I'm just gonna take the truck. Or maybe, oh, there we go. Will it really not let me take that? Alright, I guess I'm taking the Vic with 3 dudes in the back.
Adam, he went out alone.
From the way he told it, he may as well have.
Oh, great.
No, he went along with some new recruits, local bunch. It was his job to show him the ropes.
Alright, where am I? Oh, do I really not have a GPS? Okay, I do have a GPS. 046213. Okay, I'm right here. Okay. So I need to turn right and go up. Oh, I have control of these guys.
Something I'm not quite
I don't have my
clear on.
voice activation
Why
stuff
didn't
on.
RDAP transport the aid themselves? There must have been a reason.
Yeah, there was. A couple of weeks previously, guerrillas had ambushed a convoy.
Am I going the right
It
way?
was some dissident group out to sabotage the peace talks in
So I need
Kervama.
to go.
Anyway, NATO intervened and the whole thing just blew up. A checkpoint was hit. Protesters were fired upon at the MOD.
Yes, we were there. AAN.
And you know how bad it got.
Our movements were limited by the government.
Exactly. And convincing anybody to reassign troops, to escort NGOs, just a total non-starter.
Do I have binoculars?
Tell me more about your friend. He was your liaison, right?
Right. But Adams and I had a history. We'd met on a previous appointment. This guy was your typical Army lifer. Cynical, sarcastic, big heart, pissed off with everyone, everything, all the time. But he always seemed to know where to find a beer, and was always willing to share it. One of the drop zones available to Adams was out on the coast.
Move to Point Alpha.
On the way.
Disembark.
Solid copy. Waiting. Standing by. Standing by.
What's the drop point supposed to be?
Return to formation.
Solid copy.
I think the character's supposed to be talking, and I don't have my... So let's... Yeah, voice... No, music? Communication between the players. See, I don't know. Let's... Turn both of those on and see if that makes anything happen. Alright.
Leventis, move left.
Ready.
Leventis, move to Point Alpha.
Copy that.
Are they both named Leventis?
Standing by.
No, this side.
Gekas, move to Point Alpha.
Roger that. Standing by.
Gekas, Leventis, stay low.
What? I don't understand. North of what? North of me? That's the way the wind is blowing, so I want to be over here. Damn it.
Once he called in the airdrop, that was it. They just had to sit tight, hope for the best.
One thing I don't understand. What were they doing there, all the way up in the mountains?
The town, Oreo Castro, this place has historic ties with the group.
Oh, it's one of those triple
For years,
grenade
people here
launchers.
would provide them with food, water.
I see.
The
So I have
government
3
responded
grenades.
by draining the swamp.
And that involved sending soldiers?
Yeah, coin ops. Adams and his guys were there to remind him of their R2P.
Just a sec. I'm getting a bit lost in the lingo here.
Oh, gotcha. R2P is their responsibility to protect. Counterinsurgency can get real messy real quick. He was in charge of training, laws of armed conflict, that kind of thing. Adams normally tossed out an orange smoke grenade, which marked his position for the pilot.
Is that all I have for throwables? Orange smoke? It's not letting me cycle it. Yeah, alright.
So, these crates, were they originally
No, just 4. One contained medicine, another fresh drinking
for
water.
fuck's sake, really?
The rest were packed with rice or grain.
I didn't know he was
Adams had to
dropping
inspect
4
each one
things.
individually. Later, we'd arrange collection.
Petros, return to formation.
Is that gonna land in the water? Yep. Well, I hope that's not food or medicine. So what am I supposed to do? Just inspect these? Be like, yep, that's a crate.
It wasn't uncommon for the sacks of grain to split on impact, but that time, we got lucky. He didn't lose a single one. Somehow we lost a crate or two over the water. Adams blamed the pilot, but honestly, I don't know how it went so wrong.
Well, I didn't realize I was mapping out a freaking 400-liter drop zone. I thought I was getting one crate, not 4 at one time.
Petros, Commander, get in that vehicle.
Copy. Waiting.
Thankfully, the rice seemed okay.
Technically, this thing is submersible. I can go in the water and get that last crate.
The medical items, you can imagine how pleased we were to see those arrive.
So they landed safely.
Yeah, they were fine. As for the crates, they still needed to be checked before anyone else arrived.
What does that mean? Defend against ambush. Good thing I read that, or we would have gotten ambushed. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, the thing with airdrops, they're not exactly subtle. Smoke, noise of the plane, those bright green parachutes, they're gonna get you noticed. And when you're in the middle of bandit country, that's a problem.
Coming. I'm coming. Stand by.
The guerrillas attacked.
Oh, did you guys
from what I
actually
heard,
kill
it was
everyone?
Pretty intense.
Fucking
I don't know the
outstanding.
numbers, but maybe 6 or 7 were killed.
And what happened when the supplies had been secured?
Adams would fire a flare.
Area clear.
Back at the camp, of course, we'd heard all the gunfire, but that flare, when we spotted it, I don't know, felt like finding a moment of hope or something.
Sure. I can only imagine. And thanks for sharing. It puts a human perspective on my work. Speaking of which, your friend, do you think he'd be willing to contribute further? Even, off the record. What with the topic of my article, having an expert, an instructor on the laws of war.
Look, I'm sorry. I know he'd help out however he could, but listen, he died on Stratus. Year and a bit later. Landmine.
I guess that guy was the staff sergeant from the beginning of the first couple of missions of the campaign. That's the voice set he had. I don't know what my dog's bugging me about. I gotta let him out to pee real quick. Not the captain, the staff sergeant. I'll be right back. Let me make sure I can get to a spot where I can pause.
Mac, heads up. Bobcat's on the
There we
move.
go.
That's fine, thanks, Andy. Hey, Kate, bear with me. It's gonna get a little noisy here. We gotta clear out some mines.
Take your time. Just let me know when you can talk.
Okay, I'll be right back. All right. Oops. So I need to go. Where am I? I'm at the end of.
Okay, road's safe now. Bring the van on up.
Will do. Also, Mac, the NATO guys, they've kicked in all the doors. You're free to search inside the buildings now.
Got it. At least I can get out of the fucking rain. I'll come find you in a bit.
Have fun reminiscing.
By the way, Kate, I guess everyone there is pretty busy, you know, covering the peace talks.
At AAN?
Yeah.
It's quite hectic, yes. We're flying out a team, actually. Should be on the ground in the next few days.
Oh, hey, it's
Any
that guy.
insider info?
Well, it seems likely Nikos Panagopoulos will be the new president.
Really? That ex-guerrilla? Hell, Colonel Acantero's days must really be numbered.
Okay. hell is that? I can't see it. Okay. Nope. It's not clear yet. Let's keep going.
What a mess. Loose rubble everywhere.
You up at the armory, Mac? We need to make a note to sort that shit out. Probably a whole bunch of ordnance lying around.
I'll come back later.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I wonder if these are all little mini missions like that other one was. I already did this one. What about the mission?
Hey, fuckhead!
Andy,
Yep. What's up?
what's the deal with the church? Can we get in or what?
Sorry, Mac. No dice. NATO's got first dibs. They're bringing their boys home. Bag and tag.
I made sure to walk around those body bags the
I'll
first
come back
time, and I
later.
just wasn't paying attention that time. But it's. Oh, what was that? I deserve to get yelled at. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Carpenter shop. That's this building, right? I think so. So is that another one of those? Oh, maybe it just means that I didn't find all the explosives, or I just didn't watch the memory that's there.
So, Nathan, may I ask, when you first came to Oreo Castro, what were you doing there?
IDAP asked me to give some talks on landmines.
Talks? Who with?
Anyone who'd listen, really. It was all about raising awareness.
No, it's still. I still have the. I ran around this whole thing though. Oh.
How does IDAP distribute aid? It's a big logistical operation.
Oh, yeah. As the name suggests, we're an international organization. You wouldn't believe the paperwork. Supplies come in from all over Europe, end up at our depot in the Netherlands.
And they're shipped out from there?
Mm-hmm. Worldwide. Ground convoys make up the last leg of the journey. Though sometimes we rely on helilifts and airdrops.
The hell? I think it forced me into walking. No? It's hard to tell what speed you're going in this game when you don't have a weapon, because all the visual cues for your speed are based on where your weapon is at.
Morning. You been in?
You kidding me? I ain't going in there, man. That shit's all yours.
Where are you now?
Who, me? I'm exploring.
I can hear an echo.
Yeah, I'm in what used to be the mayor's place, actually. At least it was before the government forces took it over.
Tell me more about Staff Sergeant Adams. You met him on a previous deployment. That must have been in Generous, right?
No,
Well, he didn't
actually,
adhere to the
this
grooming
was after
standards.
I
That's the
left
first thing I'd tell you about him.
Previous deployment with IDAP, Pakistan. It must have been, God, 15 years ago? I think. Feels like another lifetime. I got a leaflet here. The Army must have scattered thousands of these.
Propaganda.
Something like that. This one says, there's still time to surrender. Maybe a bad choice of words considering.
Time to surrender. What's the context here?
This was last year, September. These leaflets, they were dropped maybe a day before the fighting began. You see, the guerrillas there, they'd found themselves a new leader. Charismatic, ex-military. For him, this was no time to surrender. Far from it. In fact, he used that time to rally his people, encourage them to resist, build defenses. Meanwhile, the Army was setting up for a major offensive. The attack on Oreo Castro, it was no secret. Of course, after the leaflet dropped, IDAP started to pull out of the town. So the little I do know, well, that brings us back to the brother. The one who disappeared. His name was Alexis. He volunteered to build a barricade. Town was his home, after all.
There it is. Okay, so I can look at it.
So, these leaflets, they were a warning to the town.
Yeah, they confirmed the offensive.
The government was concerned about civilian casualties.
Don't sound too surprised.
I don't assume I'm
So,
supposed to use
NATO's
this
message,
vehicle
do
with
you
the
think it
guy
was
in
getting
it.
through? I mean, according to the laws of armed conflict, that's the principle of precaution, right?
Sure, maybe. Or maybe they were just sick of all the extra paperwork.
This is the brother with no fashion sense. In fact, come on.
At what point did things
It's a
become
vehicle.
unsafe in the center of town?
Well, I'm not sure it was ever completely safe. Even before things escalated, we were concerned about being accidentally targeted. And to be honest, it didn't matter where we moved. That always remained a concern.
Do you think Alexis, I don't know, thought twice about taking these vehicles?
Look, sure, these were his neighbors, but this was their home. And it was under attack. What would you do?
What are they shooting at? Man, that is dangerous. He's just shooting at targets in the middle of town. super dangerous. Alright. My gun works.
Reloading!
If I understand it, you know about what happened through the brother. Alexis, was it? Did you meet him?
Not directly, but, you know, it's a small town, right? People knew Alexis. After what happened here, I talked to the locals. Found out what I could. The rest of what I know is pieced together from the commission report itself.
Actually, that incident report, the evidence you submitted, that's partly why I asked for the interview. I want to gain a human perspective.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, for a humanitarian commission, those reports tend to be,
A little detached, yes. Help me out with some context here. This barricade.
I mean, it was crude, right? A gap between two outcrops of rock, natural bottleneck. The guerrillas hoped to block the road by jamming it with vehicles. As for the vehicles in the barricade, the commission actually linked the plates to a number of
I
locals.
need another vehicle.
Of course, several were still missing after the incident, so the investigation made some assumptions.
Okay. I probably can't even get in this thing.
By that point, the guerrillas were short on vehicles, damaged, destroyed, or otherwise. They had to improvise. Hey, just a thought. You remember the earthquakes back then?
Yes, they were quite frequent. Were IDAP at all concerned about that?
Oh, yeah. Any kind of disaster relief on top of what we were dealing with, it would have just about finished us off completely.
Are we really gonna steal this van? Steal the ambulance? Is there no other vehicle we can get? Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Just, I was thinking, he even took a local priest's car. I remember I was talking to Father Georgiopoulos, and he was actually very good about the whole thing.
How so?
Something about rich men and cameras.
I don't know what that's a reference to. Is that good enough? Do I have to actually touch the cliff? Okay. Alright, the barricade's built. What do I do now?
So, just to clarify, in your email you said you served as a combat engineer, the Marine Corps?
That's right. South Zagoria, generous.
Then it's fair to say you're no stranger to the subject of my article, the laws of armed conflict.
I've seen a few things, heard stories.
I know you.
It's rarely been, you know, clear-cut, right and wrong.
Oh, absolutely. That's why it's so important to gain your perspective.
Really?
You've seen
I can't
things from
pick any of
both
that up.
sides. I mean, now as an NGO too.
Sure, yeah. Alexis lived in a workshop. During the attack, he let his comrades set up a position there.
He put his home right in the line of fire. Quite a sacrifice.
Looks about right. Alright, I am confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing here. The barricade's built. Is there another vehicle down here at all? really don't want to take the ambulance. Why am I the only person doing this?
These vehicles, I suppose all of them were taken without consent.
Well, yeah, given the circumstances. The owners couldn't exactly refuse.
Right, but that's the thing. Never mind theft being illegal. The laws of armed conflict prohibit such actions.
Okay, I guess I just have to steal all the vehicles. There's no guns in here. I guess I gotta leave my gun out here. Haha, just kidding.
IDAP's neutrality was one thing, but the situation they faced was quite another.
You mean to say even your own vehicles were commandeered?
Nothing like biting the hand that feeds you, huh?
Really? That's not good enough? Really? I didn't see any other vehicles. I've been through the whole town. I stole the ambulance. What more do you want from me? What's up, goats? You see any vehicles around here? Left their goat door open. Haha, I get it. Goats. Lero was here because goats. Alright, I didn't miss a vehicle, did I? Did I just not park them all properly enough? No, because it says, yeah, it gives me a check mark next to all of them, so they're all properly parked at the barricade. I don't think there's another vehicle. Unless I'm supposed to somehow flip that one on its side. Or off of its side. But then they won't have a vehicle for that barricade.
Contact, rifleman.
Like an enemy rifleman? What are you shouting out contact for if there's no contact? Aha. Just in case. Steal his mag. I guess I did miss a Vic.
Contact, man.
Better Vic that I can take? It doesn't look like it. Please don't tell me I have to take that thing. Okay. That one does not look takeable. If you guys know where the last Vic is, just tell me, because this is a little aggravating. Time wasting. Is it someone's garage that I missed? No, I took that vehicle out of that garage. Did I check this area? Yeah, there's a van here. This is where the van that I took was.
No,
Okay.
no, nothing.
Shit.
All that, I don't know if it served any purpose.
Okay, seriously. This is aggravating. gonna be able to get out here without dying. If I move it out, get out. Yeah, see, it unchecks it, so that means all the vehicles. Really should not matter. I mean, it says they're at the barricade. Alright. It still has the task assigned, see? I don't understand. They were all bumper to bumper with the Ural in the middle. This is fucking stupid. Making me mad! This thing is front-wheel drive.
After Alexis built the barricade, what then? Did he stay inside the town?
No, that's where the story gets more complicated. The barricade itself was later chained up and set on fire by someone else. I don't know quite who. Alexis, he headed west to lay mines.
I don't have any mines.
Anti-tank mines were already in the ground. If there's no full fuse, and so long as they've not been stacked, they aren't too hard to remove. But Alexis, Although he didn't use anti-handling devices, he did create a hybrid minefield.
AT mines. Mixed with APs.
That's it, yeah. He put anti-personnel mines around the anti-tank ones, made clearance all that much harder.
These mines, how did they get hold of them?
They got them when the government's
He's gonna
outpost
plant the
fell
mine
into
that killed
guerrilla
his own
hands.
brother.
Bounding mines. The type that leaps up a meter into the air before exploding. Nasty stuff. Hell, nowadays they're even made with plastic casing to throw off older types of mine detector.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, just do yourself a favor. Don't look up Bouncing Betty injuries online. It was important for Alexis to place his mines near the anti-tank ones. You know, thinking about it, even if we had a record of where Alexis's mines were, it may not do much good.
No? I thought minefield maps were a key part of your work.
Most folks don't realize, but landmines, they don't stay put. Heavy rain, landslides, keeping a map current ain't so simple. And with all the earthquakes in this region, there's little chance they'd all be in the same place. I don't know. Maybe just gallows humor, but we've got an expression for that.
And did he? Place them correctly, I mean.
No, not really. I mean, Alexis had basic training, but I'm more impressed he didn't blow himself up, really.
So, moving on. Where did Alexis go next?
He took a quad bike up to the castle behind the town.
The castle? Why?
He was needed at the guerrillas' base camp.
Okay. His group are running things from up at the castle.
Mm-hmm. And I see what you're getting at. Yeah, Geneva Convention's cultural objects, I think.
I'm not gonna be able to get through. Hey, someone set the barricade on fire.
The barricade. There wasn't any way around it then?
From the road? No, well, not unless you cut through the compound.
Maybe a technical question.
Go ahead.
In these situations, did those involved commonly record the locations of minefields?
That's a tough one. Take this situation, for example. I'm convinced Alexis would have made a record. It's his home, after all. But do we have access to that information? No. And that's the problem. Things, information, people, landmines, they get lost in the fog of war. But that's the thing about landmines. Lost or not, they stick around. They wait to be found.
I'm supposed to go right in the middle.
Do you feel these preparations made a difference?
In the short term, I do, yeah. The barricade held. The government's tanks were knocked out on the road.
And in the long term?
I'd go on, but as you may have heard, it's getting kind of loud here.
By the sounds of it, you've got your hands full.
This will only take a minute. Be right back.
I don't think that explosion actually hurt me. I think it just threw dirt in my face. It's pretty good so far.
Bet you wish we had one of those in Pakistan, huh?
I gotta admit, that's 60 tons of getting shit done.
Huh. The vehicles are in the same spot I actually put them. I think.
Oh, by the way, while you were busy chatting to, well, whoever that is that isn't your wife...
I told you, Andy, she's a journalist. Get to the point.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I assembled the demining drones.
Sarge.
Both of them?
Well, yeah. They're by the van.
Where's the van? There's the van. I'll be right back. All right.
All right, got the terminal.
Cool. So just connect it to a drone and, yeah, take control.
So what am I doing here? Okay, I think these are more of those miniature missions, but I didn't, or more of the missions, but I didn't see how to activate them.
You got it?
Looking good.
So, you're gonna want to use the auto hover mode. Switch it on whenever you need to stay in one place.
Auto hover, right.
I'll arm the explosives once you've reached the minefield.
Didn't switch auto hover on, but all right. Oh wait, all those mines are gone. I need to be going. No, those aren't mine fields. Okay. Where am I supposed to be going? Okay, yeah, I am supposed to be going over to there.
Heads up. Enabling charges. Okay, now, the bombs. You only got 4. Release one and it'll drop straight down. Simple physics. If you run out, fly over to the van. There's plenty spare.
Thanks.
Like I feel that this camera should be able to look around if you're supposed to be. Yeah, it doesn't have a downward-facing camera in order to make sure you're dropping bombs from a drone on the right spot. Oh, I guess it does have the little radar. Anaconda don't. Anaconda don't. Anaconda don't want none. Alright. I just want to see what this looks like. How am I supposed to drop it?
Having fun there?
Making things go boom, you know it.
Neat.
These demining charges pack quite a punch. What's in them?
500 grams of Crovex water gel, baby.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. In fact, I think they might have made it up. Really? How did it detonate the ones that far away, but not those two?
I'm out.
Don't sweat it. Steer back on over to the van. I'll rearm you.
Cooler than the drone I usually fly.
Safety's on.
Understood.
God, this must have been a nightmare for people who know how to fly these things in ArmA. Wish I had my damn joystick plugged in. Oh, Jesus.
There you are. Set
Nope,
it down where
okay.
you started. Over by those white containers.
I'm working on it, man. Okay. Stop, please.